Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm back for those of you that just were with me on the daily guidance for today. So, I'm here for the Aries New Moon. And the things that are coming to me as I was sitting down to go live were, fast moving energy, things changing rapidly, opportunities coming in that you don't see. Like, I just feel like this is going to be a very revelatory, revealing kind of energy. And there are going to be things that are going to come in, but again, they're going to come in very fast. They're going to come in very unexpected. They're going to, Aries is a very fiery, fast moving, in your face kind of energy. And so there may be things that you didn't want to look at that you're going to have to look at, or things that are going to happen that you were trying to hold off because you didn't want to deal with it. Like, I just feel like there's going to be things in this new moon that it's like, oh, yep, that's been there, but I didn't want to see it, feel it, hear it, know it. But this Aries full moon energy or new moon energy is going to, be that beginning, that new beginning. So a lot of just opportunities that are unexpected, opportunities you didn't see coming, and that's what this is all about. So this new moon is going to allow you to make a choice, make a decision. Make a choice, make a decision. Yay, Mandy. Awesome. I actually got another cup of coffee. So I think I'm on my third for the day. So we are going to do this pick a card so that you can get some individuated advice for your situation, who you are and what you're doing. So this is going to be a lot of change, and how you deal with that change in this moon cycle is going to be totally up to you. Just picking up the piles here. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I know, Mandy. I know. I actually have gotten, so Mandy said I love coffee, but it doesn't love me. So one of the things I've had to do is I've had to go with my coffee. I've gone with several things, not everything, but organic coffee seems to not upset my stomach as much as, those other or inorganic coffees. So, and I don't go crazy with the organic. I still use the store brand organic, but that's what I've been doing. So sometimes we just have to kind of, figure out what works for us. So yeah, I've gotten really picky about my coffee because I know that if it's not organic, I'm going to have a problem, and I don't want to have a problem. I want to drink my coffee and enjoy it. Yeah, sometimes we just have to kind of figure out what works for us. Good morning, Deb. Good morning. All right, so here we are for the Aries new moon. We have 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Good morning, Cynthia. 1, 2, and 3. What pile are you feeling? What pile are your eyes being drawn to? What number is resonating with you? Feel the choice. Don't try to think the choice. 1, 2, 3. All right. So just putting them down so that they're in the right order. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome, 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 welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, there are going to be timestamps in the description box. And if you're here live, good morning, welcome. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Rebecca. All right. So again, this Aries full moon, Aries is a very in-your-face kind of sign. It's a fire sign. It's swift-moving energy. So this new moon will bring in change and opportunity in a way that will feel maybe unexpected, but it's about us really going in the direction that is for us. So for pile number 1, the overarching energy is nourishment. Nourishment. Getting into filling your cup up. this moon cycle with things that make you feel good, with things that you need for your body, your experience, your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically, and I'm hearing financially. So pile number one, I feel like you are going to have some nourishment come in, something that's going to somehow impact your financial situation. And so be open. Be open to receiving. See how her arms are all kinds of open? Let me get my finger out of the way. See how her arms are all kinds of open and they're holding bounty in each hand? Yeah, that's you. That's what's coming in for you. That's coming in to nourish your soul, nourish your situation, whatever your situation is. So things are coming to you that are going to fill you up in some way. And for some of you, it will be in a way that does affect you positively, financially, where your bounty is coming in. Look at that. Look at that bounty in her hands. That bounty is coming in. So do not let the obstacles and challenges get in your way. So anything that you feel like is being difficult or coming in to stop your bounty coming in, just know that that's an obstacle and a challenge. And it's really an opportunity for you to take your new lessons, take your new energy and say, no, I'm not going in that direction anymore. I'm just going to pluck up my courage, because remember, courage is, it's not the absence of fear, it's the stepping through fear. And so I feel like you just have to step over these obstacles and challenges, that the change that you're going to on the other side is going to bring you the bounty. It's going to bring you the nourishment that you're wanting, or it's time for you to receive, basically. It's not even wanting, it's your due, it's time. And so you can't let the obstacles and challenges throw you off course or make you feel like, well, nope, we're not getting it again. This is about knowing, okay, it's here. I can't block it by not walking through the fear. If you're mentally self-sabotaging yourself by saying, I don't deserve, I can't do that, that's not for me, I'm never the one that receives, then you're hindering things coming to you. You're blocking them. And I feel like there's no need to block anything. You just allow it to come in. You just allow it to come in. And so anything that's trying to disrupt your security, safety, passion, joy, it's time to walk away. That whatever's trying to come in and disrupt what you are moving towards, what you're being inspired to do, what intuition you're receiving, then they're just the naysayers. And it's time to let that go. It's time to walk away from anybody or anything that is getting in your way. That it is time to know that you are coming into a season of plenty, a season of bounty, a season of things coming for you. But pile number one, if you're holding on to the old stories and the old paradigm of what your life has been in the past few years, then you're just going to keep creating more of that. And we don't want that. We don't want you to stay in the old story. We don't want you to stay in the I don't receive, I get left behind, it's not for me. When you have a memory of a situation that didn't work out maybe the way that you wanted it to, maybe there was a relationship that you really thought was going to go the distance and it didn't, or maybe there was someone that you really, really trusted and they broke that trust horribly. Don't go into those memories and feel that miserable feeling, because your body doesn't know that that's the past. If you're feeling it, it feels like it's the present. And you don't want to pull in any more of that negativity. So the memories of love, only go into them if you're going into the positive aspect of it. And you're not trying to hold on to anything to stay yourself in that energy. But maybe you're just going back into those memories of love because there were good times. And there was beauty in that relationship in parts. But for many of you, don't hold on to the pain and the hurt and the trauma to keep that relationship or situation alive within you, because that's telling the universe that you want more of that. And we don't want more of that. We don't want more disruption. We don't want more pain. We want to get into receiving the bounty, the nourishment that is for us, that is coming, that is showing up in unexpected ways, but it's going to feel big. And it's time for you to receive it through ease and grace. No more striving and driving. So anything that isn't working out right away, walk away from it. Anything that's making you feel a type of negative way, that is not your way. That is not for you. It is time to move away from that. It's time to go in a new direction. So pile number 1, this is about things coming to you and coming to you through ease and grace. And it's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's going to feel really, really, really strange, because that's not how you've been receiving things for a while now. You have been receiving things where everything has not worked out, where you've had one obstacle or challenge right after the other, where you've had love really take you out at the knees, pile number 1. And it's time to let that go. Don't go into the negative memories, Deb. It's not that you can't go into the memories, but you don't want to get so lost in the memories that you're feeling that emotion and you're drawing to you those types of situations anymore. Now it's time to get really discerning and say, you know what? That happened. I'm going to let go of whatever the fear, whatever the anger, whatever the resentment is. I'm going to hold on to, the good part of that, what I gained from that relationship, and I'm going to move on. And that's a process, and it takes time. So if you're grieving a relationship, it's very important to go through the steps of the grief, but not to get caught up in those memories so much so that you're not allowing love to come in. Because I feel like pile number 1, that's part of the bounty and part of the ease and grace for you, is not just financial, but it's also people. It's also relationship. All right, now pile number 1, I'm just going to get an angel card to see where this wants to kind of go. Awesome, Thomas. Yeah. Archangel Uriel is saying, empower your habits, pile number 1. If you find yourself going into those bad habits, letting that negative self-talk be your story, let your actions be disempowering. Wherever you're letting yourself down, it's time to empower your habits. It's time for you to say, no, that's the old story. That's the old habit. I don't do that anymore. I don't go there anymore. So for many of you, pile number 1, it's going to be about be very discerning. Where am I putting myself? What situations am I putting myself in? Do they serve me? Do they feel good? How am I thinking about myself in my situations? Do they serve me? Does it feel good? And really start to change how you're thinking and feeling about your situation or your story. And really forgiving those parts that you need to forgive, yourself or others. And really getting into gratitude for what you have gained, what you have learned, because that is what is going to allow those opportunities, those situations to come in and positively impact your situation in a way that feels good. So for some of you, if you don't kind of get into the new and letting go of the old, then you could block that bounty, that blessing that's coming in. We don't want to do that, pile number 1. We want to be empowered. We want to say, I'm here. I'm in my story. I'm living my life. I'm making the most beneficial choices and decisions for myself. Anything coming at me, I can handle it. I can take it. I'm moving forward. Awesome, Deb. Awesome. Whew. All right, so that's pile number one. That's pile number one. All right, pile number two. Pile number two. Are we ready? Are you ready? as Abraham says, are you ready to be ready? Yeah. Pile number two. It's time for you in this energy to have discernment. It's time for you to really listen to your gut in situations with people, places, relationships. And if it feels like it's not the right time, if it's not the right situation, if it doesn't feel good, it doesn't fill your cup up, then this is not your place. This is not your situation. This is not your person. And for many of you, you might even be coming into discernment about situations and relationships you're already currently in. And so for many of you, you're getting a lot of this new knowledge, a lot of this new perspective coming in that's helping you to be more discerning about the people, places, and situations that you're around. Because what we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, is drawing in our situations and relationships to us. So be discerning about how you're thinking about yourself, and be discerning about where you're putting yourself, what you're watching, what you're eating, what you're reading, what you're listening to. Be very discerning. Am I listening to high vibrational frequencies? Am I watching high vibrational integrity? Am I putting myself in these places where I'm going to be brought up, or am I keeping myself very small, playing very, very small down here in the lower frequencies of anger and resentment and despair and grief? Because if you're keeping yourself low, you're just going to keep drawing in those lower relationships, those lower frequencies, those lower people, those lower situations. So it's really time for you to get very discerning about what you're doing for yourself with your power. Look at that. With your power. It's all about your power, and you being discerning about how you're treating your power, how you're taking care of your power in this energy. Yeah. So for many of you, you have a lot of conflict going on in the mental body. Again, how you're thinking about things, how you're making your choices and decisions, because that old story is really, really holding on. That ego is really, really holding on to the old, because that's where it feels safe and stable. That's where it feels its survival is. But for many of you, that isn't working for you anymore. That isn't helping you to move forward in your life experience the way that you want to. So having discernment is in your mental body is going to be really important for you to really let go of your ego and recognize that your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are not who you are. The observer of your thoughts is who you are. So pile number two, it's time to become the observer. Using your wisdom of who you are and everything that you've come into this life experience with, that wisdom, that gut instinct, that intuition, those life lessons that you just feel. That is where your discernment is. That is where you need to go, because you've been brought through many, many aspects of your shadow. And now it's time to lay those aspects down and say, I'm not that person anymore. I've learned that lesson. I'm ready to move on. And so it's time to be very discerning about where you go forward, that you don't keep putting yourself in those past situations, those past emotions, those past relationship types. It's time to move on. Yeah, because pile number two, you are going through transformation in a big, big way. In a big, big way. Transformation that is bringing you to your next cycle, your next road. your next relationship, your next situation. It's about really learning and letting go of the past, learning from and letting go of the past. There's nothing there for you. Pile number 2. So call in Archangel Metatron because you are coming into, look at that, pile number 2. It's all about the new beginnings. It's all about the new beginnings for you. Moving forward. Calling in Archangel Metatron if you need to. Absolutely. To help you maybe even be discerning about what the lesson was. What is it that you needed to learn? He will help you and show you where you need to go now, forward, onward. How to make those steps forward. Because where you're going is going to be very different and feel and look very different than where you've ever been before. So call in Archangel Metatron when you need the help for the sign that you're going in the right direction. The sign that you're with the right people. And he'll give them to you. Absolutely will give them to you. So thank you for being here. Whew. All right, pile number 3. Yeah, Thomas. You got it. Awesome, Lori. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. All right, pile number 3. Are we ready? Gratitude, pile number 3. Getting into gratitude for what is going well, what you have gained, what you have learned, how you feel different. Awesome, Mandy. Hey, Jessica. So yes, getting into gratitude, because getting into that higher vibrational frequency, number 3, is going to allow you to draw to you and manifest everything you've been trying to manifest that's felt blocked or stuck. Getting in that higher vibrational frequency of gratitude is going to make all the difference. So pile number 3, 10 things every day you're grateful for. Be very consistent for 21 days, and this will transform your experience. I promise. So it's time to get out of this suffering in silence, because that suffering in silence is a very egoic, poor me, look at me, nobody takes care of me. And you're just drawing more of that loneliness and suppression and all of that negativity to you. You've got to counter that with what is good in your life. And for some of you, it may be very, very small. Sometimes when you're starting a journey, and you have been in the shit storm for a long time, it's so hard to figure out how to start pulling yourself out of that pile number 3. This is the way you start pulling yourself out of it. You get into gratitude for all the little things in your life, every little thing. You're grateful wherever you're living. You're grateful for whatever your job is. Even if you flip and hate going there every day, you're getting a paycheck. Be grateful for the paycheck. Find the gratitude in all the situations that you wish you could change, because there's something good or beneficial about them in some way. Be grateful for that. Get out of this poor me, nothing ever works out for me, nobody's taking care of me. You've got to take care of you. You've got to love you. You've got to pull yourself out of this. This is how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. And a 2 and a 3 makes a 5. And 5 is all about change. Changing into a positive direction. And that's how you're going to start this change. You get into gratitude. And it's going to be big change. This isn't going to be little change. This is going to be big transformation. This is you coming out of that chrysalis and getting your wings. Feeling spirit in a way you've never felt spirit before. Having situations, rugs pulled out from underneath you because you can't stay there anymore, and you've been trying to stay there because you're so scared to move. But these big endings, pile number 3, are going to be what brings you the beautiful new beginnings. what's going to bring you the way forward, what's going to bring in the new beneficial people, what's going to bring in the new beneficial opportunity and job. Because it's all coming. You're going through financial and material changes. Are they going to be positive or are they going to be negative? And if you want positive, which is what Spirit is bringing you, get into gratitude. And then everything that you're wanting is going to show up. Look at that. You got another 5. Hello. Pile number 3, you're changing. Whether you want to or not, you can kick, you can scream, you can dig in your heels, and you're going to change. So do you want your tower moment to be gently gone through, making the changes and choices and decisions, or do you want everything to be taken away all at once? Your choice. Because pile number 3, I just feel for you, something big is coming down the pike. How you handle it is going to be how you get through it. And if you can feel it coming, then you've got to get your head out of the sand and you got to get into gratitude. So when it happens, you've already got your resource lined up. You've already got the new in the pike. So you got to cut those cords from the past because there's nothing there for you. Cut those cords to the people, the situations, the relationships. And for some of you, it's going to be family. It's going to flippin' suck. For some of you, it's going to be that best friend that's been just weighing you down and you didn't even realize it because you thought they were being beneficial. But really what they were doing was drawing on your energy and keeping you in a deficit. Let it go. Cut the cord. Pile number 3, I just feel like you're going to have to make some really hard choices and decisions that you've been trying not to make for a while. And if you don't make them, Spirit, universe will make them for you and it will hurt. You'll survive, but it will hurt. So do you want to bump your nose or do you want to break your arm? That's what I'm feeling for you. That's what I'm feeling for you. So let's see who wants to come in and help you with this. Get into gratitude. Bump your nose. We all have to. That's how we learn. But you can walk away from a sore nose. It heals very quickly. Archangel Ramala. Yeah, radiate joy. Get in that higher vibrational frequency. Find the joy in each day. Find the joy in each moment. Again, little joys. This isn't big joy. This is little joy. Archangel Uriel is coming in too. Shine your light. Be that magnificent being, creature that you are. You got this. Pile number 3, you've got this. Cutting the cords is simply doing a cord cutting meditation. You can find those on YouTube. But it's important. Don't stay stuck because this energy isn't going to allow you to stay stuck. It's going to move you. Do you want to be part of that movement or do you want it to completely dump you out of a situation? Your choice. All right, my friends. Thank you for being here. You're very welcome. Yeah, Cynthia, use gratitude. That's how you change the negative into the positive. You just use gratitude. That's how I did it. Literally, it didn't even take the 21 days. It was like literally 7 days later, I was getting a phone call out of the blue from a cousin I didn't really speak to on a regular basis, bringing me this job opportunity that I desperately needed. Gratitude, higher vibrational frequency, open up your energy flow so that the positive can get to you. For many of you, you're so ensconced in the fear that you're blocking the blessings. It's time to cut the cords of the fear, of the people, of the situations, of anything that's holding you back. This energy is going to be big and it's going to move you whether you want to be moved or not. So that's what I have for you today. I totally have to get going, but I'm thanking each and every one of you for being here. And I will talk to you soon.